Hello friends, today's video is about Greece. As many of you know, their country is potentially close to being bankrupt. In this video, I'm going to make a guess of what's going to happen. I'd like you to leave a comment and let me know what you think is going to happen with Greece within the next month to 6 months. The current situation is this. About 2 weeks ago, their former Prime Minister resigned. A week before he resigned, the European Union met and agreed to terms that would potentially save the entire Union. However, a week after that, the former Prime Minister announced to his people and the general public, and this is out of the blue, that Greece would hold a referendum on continued austerity measures. In Greece right now, they are being taxed to death by their government. And, of course, there are budget cuts like you wouldn't believe. Everyone is having their salaries cut. Public, private workers, everyone. Wage cutting like you've never seen before. And the people are suffering and they're miserable and they're angry. And the Prime Minister wanted to address this. He wanted to instill market confidence by allowing the people of Greece to say that yes, they were willing to do whatever it took to continue to stay in the European Union Monetary Fund. However, the capitalist markets were thrown into a panic at the thought of the fact that the people of Greece could deny the referendum, much like the people of Iceland denied their referendum. In effect, that would be them saying that they have no intention of continuing further austerity measures or paying back the money that they owe. So now this week, and the week prior, the European Union has been putting tremendous pressure on the new Prime Minister to have him sign a document stating that all of the political parties in Greece, which are also supposed to sign the document, are fully committed to further austerity measures and will do whatever it takes to maintain balanced budgets and meet certain economic targets. If they fail to sign this document, the European Union will discontinue their rescue fund. And right now, the rescue fund has been increased to $176 billion, which Greece absolutely needs. If they don't get the next tranche of money, which is scheduled before the end of December, apparently $8 billion, then their country will then become bankrupt because they are out of money. And without this next bailout, this little $8 billion, that's it, they're done. They'll have to leave the European Union and go back to their old currency, known as their drachma. This is what I think is going to happen. But I'd also be interested in hearing your opinions as well. I think that after wrangling with the European Union, Greece will enact some concessions from them. And the people of Greece will also say that they'll do this and this and this. Whatever the European Union basically wants to hear. And then all of the European political parties will sign the document. A month later, 6 months later, if they can't get their next bailout, or if the terms are too difficult, they will renege on their promises. This is what Greeks do best. Does anyone remember the movie Troy, where they hid inside the horse and then took everything over? It's the same concept here. The Greeks are duplicitous. They have been since day one, when they lied about their finances to get into the European Union. And they've been lying about the wage concessions that they're enacting in their own country. Right now, the European Union has monitors to check to make sure that they are upholding their ends of the bargain as far as getting this money and tax increases and budget cuts. But the reality is, they've been foot-dragging like you wouldn't believe. Budget cuts? Well, some unpolitically connected people have had their wages cut. And different social services that don't have a lot of political pull have also had their budgets cut. But the more powerful political people, the more powerful political work groups and social programs haven't been touched yet. Because if they were to be touched, well, that political party or those political parties in charge would be signing their own death warrants. And one thing should be known. Politicians want to survive because jobs are hard to come by in Greece now. So if it comes to paying back the European Union and losing your job, or throwing the European Union under the bus and keeping your job and your pay, it's more likely, in my opinion, that the European Union the Greek political leaders will do what is in their own best interests. Now, Prime Minister A, he believed that if they had held a referendum, the Greek people would have chosen to stay in the Union. But, and that would have been good for the markets, because it would have shown that the people of Greece were committed to doing whatever it takes. But, sadly, that did not happen, and they will not get that opportunity. So now everything falls apart. Because of this one little incident with the referendum, It's thrown the rest of the European Union into chaos. Italy, their bonds are increasing to 7%. Spain, their bonds are increasing. And these countries need these bonds to be at low percentage rates. That way they can refinance and roll over their debt. But if the interest rates become too high, well, then they won't be able to pay that money back at all. And the markets will become skeptical. Well, there you have it. Greece right now, they are in a very dire situation this week. This week and next week are going to be critical. And we're going to see what's going to happen. It's going to be exciting. Because if Greece doesn't sign the document, if they don't get the money, if they withdraw from the European Union, you will see the bond spreads on all the other Euro members increase dramatically. It will become the end of the European Union. Right now, different central banks around the world and bankers are screaming for what the Europeans' version of the central bank are Fed, which they call the European Central Bank, to print money. They want them to print money, to just turn on those printing presses and just guarantee everything under the sun. But the sad reality for the European Union is that when they created their constitution, they specifically set up clauses saying that the European Central Bank could not print unlimited money. Right now, one of the largest countries to stand against unlimited money printing, Germany, is still adamantly opposed to this, because money printing means that the Germans are financing everything for the European Union. And not just the Germans, but the other countries that took care of their finances. They're going to pay for the countries that just spent and spent and spent with no care for tomorrow. And this is not popular in Germany, where they have almost genetic memories of hyperinflation in 1932. Germans are inherently afraid of hyperinflation because their people lived through it. It's similar to the United States' fear of a surprise attack, and that fear was brought on by Pearl Harbor. It would be as if other countries, other militaries, gave us advice saying that our military doesn't need to maintain a readiness state at all times. We would be adamantly opposed to just letting our forces stand down. It's ingrained in us now, just like it's ingrained in the Germans. So yes, get ready to rumble this week. It's going to be hot. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be thrilling. And if you're looking for the really good news, if you want to get to the heart of this, pick up a copy of the Financial Times. It's a European business publication, and it covers this issue in depth. The Wall Street Journal is not going to cut it this time. So, let me know what you think, and we'll see who comes closest to being right. Good day.